So this piece of furniture was built by Dan Johnson, and he is here today to talk to us a little bit about what went into the construction. So Dan, why did you build this in the first place? What prompted you to build this?
Jean Bidoff had asked me if I could just build a little table, plywood top, and put legs on it, and she put a tablecloth or something over it to hold coffee cups and all that, because the space we had wasn't big enough. And I told her I would do it, and I got to thinking about it, and just building a piece of plywood with some legs on it wasn't going to work for me. I thought of other churches in Europe that I'd seen and other places, and the symbolism that they had, and I thought it was more appropriate to do something like that. So I spent a lot of sleepless nights designing this thing in my head, and once I had the idea pretty well set, I drew it out, drew the plans up, and started construction. The first part of the construction was the choice of wood, and this is made out of oak. Most of it is solid oak, except for the very top, which is plywood. And I chose oak because it's known for its strength and its longevity.
Okay. So what other symbolism did you build into this?
Well, as part of that, the legs themselves are not solid pieces of oak. They're laminated, and they're also vertical, and that's to represent the church and the congregation. Out of many comes one. So many pieces of wood laminated together are stronger than having just one piece of wood, and it represents our church and our congregation. And if you'll notice the doors, the symbolism there is the crucifixion. The three crosses, the one cross in the middle is different, however. It's bigger and it's split. That's to represent Christ's crucifixion, and that his death was not the end. Going up from this cross, you see the cross of the resurrection, and that is to represent Christ rising from the dead.
And Dan, can you talk about the original, something that this no longer has, but originally was in that cross?
I had a crystal put in that center there. Its intent was to catch light and then reflect it all around the area, like the light of Christ being reflected upon each and every one of us. The other bit of symbolism that I have in here is the border around here. Now, as I said, that was plywood, so you have to cover up the edge so it doesn't look like plywood. And there are 13 little buttons around the side here. They're all with the green horizontal except for this one. And this one is to represent Christ. The other is to represent the apostles. That green is different. It's vertical instead of horizontal, representing the lifting from the cross to the resurrection.
Do you have anything, I thought when we talked before, I heard you say something about the drawers, and the construction of the drawers?
Yeah, the construction of this is pretty much old style. I used mortise and tenon joints, which is on one side you build a pocket and then a tongue slips in the other side. The drawers themselves have no hardware in it. They're oak with a groove cut in it and then a rail put on the inside and lubricated with soap. And this thing has been here for 20 years now, and the drawers still slide perfectly and they still fit very tightly. And I wanted to use as much of the old style construction as I could for its strength and to represent the old style.
And how long did it take you to build?
You know, I don't remember exactly how long it took, but it was more than a month. It was a lot of work. I had a few people helping me move it around once it started to get big. And I had my wife Nancy do the staining. I hate staining. So she did the staining and the polyurethaning. And I think it turned out quite well. It still looks good after 20 years.
It does. Did you learn anything as a result of this, Dan?
Yeah, I did. I learned a lot. I was very proud of it. I was very excited to do it, and I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be a piece that would reflect what I thought of us in our church and a gift to God. And as I was putting it together, it's big, it's heavy, there's a lot of pieces, and it wasn't going well. And as I was putting it together, there was a flaw. I wasn't able to get it together as quickly as I wanted, and the flaw really made me angry. I was angry for quite a while. And then it dawned on me that the flaw was supposed to be there. Just as we're all flawed, nothing's perfect. And I think that was Jesus teaching me a lesson. So I let go of my pride and accepted it the way it is. I can't even tell you where the flaw is now. I'm sure if you look, you could probably find it, but I've let go.
And do you remember, Dan, the final touch you and Nancy did that you added to this stand?
Yes. Nancy and I decided that we should sign it, and underneath there's an inscription, a gift from one carpenter to another. And then we signed our names and our date. It was built in 2005.
Certainly this coffee stand will serve a practical purpose for us as we fellowship together for many, many years to come. It's already been that for us for about 20 years. But more importantly, and maybe more deeply, instead of just looking at this in its practical sense, I think it's important to understand that there's a deeper purpose. Dan has illustrated for us the fact that God is with us and in us and for us, no matter what we're doing, through every minute of every day, through every chore, everything we do, even the mundane. Yes, we can truly find God's wisdom and inspiration in anything we do if we just look for it and listen with open ears. So on behalf of the congregation, I'd like to thank Dan and Nancy for this very, very lovely and enduring gift.